Hey, Jezzer. What? Answer nothing? What? Answer to what is nothing? You text me? Jezzer, what you talking about? Hey, six string. Yeah. We're gonna. Oh, I didn't ask that question. What did they have? Oh, that was the notification question, wasn't it? Well, let's talk about that. Let's see. Well, we know that they're gonna have the Halo Infinite gameplay reveal finally after years of teasing. We know there's gonna be a brand new next gen Forza, that's the best racing series on the planet and has been for years. We can all expect the new Fable. That the other is it Turn 10 Studios or Playground? I think is it Turn 10. Let's see. This is great because I'm co-streaming, like actually co-streaming. What appears here in the background is not on my gaming rig, so I can still work and do stuff without showing stuff I'm not allowed to show while streaming this, which is awesome. I think it's Turn 10 Studios. No, Playground. So Playground Games, which makes not more Motorsport, but the Forza Horizon games, they've had a second studio for years now working on what's reportedly and widely speculated to be the new Fable game. And Phil Spencer has kind of hinted at that, so that's the big thing. But Halo is the big flagship now. They're going to use that to launch the Xbox Series X, but it will also work on the entire Xbox family of devices and PC as well, which is great. Cross-play, play anywhere, cross progress. It'll be in Game Pass, Ultimate Game Pass, so fantastic deal. Yes, but for me, Halo and Gears have long been... Too loud. Halo and Gears have long been forgettable for me. Xbox 360, Gears was king. Gears 3 is like a 10 out of 10 game. The earlier Halo games are amazing, but once they did like ODST and then Reach was pretty good, but like 4 and 5 under 343 Industries, really forgettable. Well, six string, so is the Xbox One, Xbox One X, and so is the PS4. They're all the same. They're all using the same architecture, which is why it's so easy to go multi-platform and support crossplay now. They are PCs. They have a GPU, a CPU, a cooling unit. Like they're literally PCs, but they're optimized tiny PCs just for gaming, which is why you can get so much more power out of a $400 or $300 device than you can on a $300 PC. It's 100% built for gaming. Six string, I think you need to look up what the Xbox One X is. It's literally the same thing. You just have more powerful parts. They've been a PC for years. It's same shit. The same people who make your chips for PCs are making the same fucking chips for the consoles. They're just optimized strictly for gaming. Actually, it's a good question though. Let me close this so I don't. I mean, we can make a checklist of what you kind of expect. How long is this thing? Is it 60 minutes or 90? And is it only first party? Well, we can look at the. We can bring up the list of all the different Xbox game studios. They've acquired 7 to 9 studios in the last 2 years, right? There we go. You probably see the latest on the Age of Empires, right? World's Edge is making that. A new State of Decay, maybe. Although I think State of Decay 2 is really bad. But State of Decay 3, I guess, would be the next one, right? Undead Labs is working on that. Turn 10, new... This year will be Forza Motorsport, right? Jezzer, are we getting a price today? I would hope so. There's a lot of hinting about why there's shortages of the Xbox Series... Xbox One S and Xbox One X, and they said, oh, it'll all be explained soon. So either the Xbox Series X is surprise dropping very soon, and they're going to have a price for it. I don't know. I hope they show a price today, open pre-orders up. It'd be nice. But at the same time, if you read like what the industry and business analysts are saying, from a strategic standpoint, Xbox should not reveal a price until after PlayStation does. Xbox has billions of cash on hand. Sony is like not liquid at all and is kind of fucked in that capacity. So Xbox can underprice or match whatever PlayStation does, and they can take a loss on that because it's not about that. Xbox is pushing so far into services, it doesn't even matter. So all they have to do is compete or better the PlayStation. So if you listen to Michael Pachter, you know, Wedbush analyst Michael Pachter and any of those other guys, they're like, no. PlayStation will go first. Xbox will force them to do it. Jezer asks, what do I think each will cost? It's tough to justify, especially in today's climate, a price tag more than 500. You can get a Series S for 250, so I would say the with disk drive 500. Maybe they'll have a premium model with a bigger hard drive, which is the biggest problem with these consoles now. The hard drive space is so small, and these download sizes are getting bigger and bigger. I mean, look at Modern Warfare, man. It's like 190 gigs or something if you get the full thing with Warzone. That's insane. That's like a quarter of your hard drive right now at a terabyte. So yeah, 600. I think 600 is the absolute max, and you need minimum 2 gigs in there. But both Xbox and PlayStation will have all digital versions, which will be 50 or 100 cheaper. So Sony already showed the PS5 digital one. Chipotle Sam, 2 days in a row with a sub. Oh, good. Maybe you did that last night. It just didn't show up until now. Because I know you had that Twitch Prime last night. Drop some fails in chat. Thank you, Sam, if you're there. But there's also rumors Xbox will show their digital version of the Series X as well. Six String says, I don't think Microsoft lives on the same planet as the rest of us. Yeah, I don't know. Of all the companies, at least they're the most consumer friendly. Like out of Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, Microsoft is the most consumer friendly in terms of value, right? The problem with Xbox is that they had the worst console launch in history, right? Just ridiculous under the old leadership. The same guy now is leading Google Stadia, which is why that's a fucking disaster. And their first party games suck. Like Xbox One was such an endless series of disappointments of first party games. So that's why they acquired all these studios to make a push towards we need exclusive content. And that's why they're not done with exclusive acquisitions. So the big epic power move today would be if any of the rumors are true about Warner Bros. Interactive. If Microsoft comes out and is like, boom, the next Batman game, which is kind of weird, that's a DC Warner Brothers thing, but like if they came out and said, all Mortal Kombat, fucking, the next Batman Arkham game, these are Xbox exclusives, you'd be like, oh shit, maybe, Sony has Spider-Man, Xbox has Batman, that's kind of a thing. But they are absolutely the most consumer friendly. I mean, the best value in gaming for games is the Xbox Game Pass and the Ultimate Game Pass. It's insane. And then every single Xbox game, you buy it once for $60 guaranteed through this fall, right? Maybe they'll go up next year, but they're not price hiking like 2K is. Or else Ubisoft said that. Spencer is not playing that game though, Phil Spencer. So I think you're not going to get a price hike on Xbox games. But let's say it's $60 US. You buy it for Xbox, you get it for Xbox One, you get it for Xbox Series X, you get it for PC. Cross progress, cross play. You can play anywhere. It's no one else does that. You buy a Sony game, you're fucking stuck with it. It's your PS3 game, it's your PS4 game, it's your PS5 game. You know what I mean? They won't even commit to that cross system progress. Macios, what's up, buddy? Are you guys ready for? He doesn't have to. Bill Gates microchips us. Oh, that's more of a Zuckerberg thing. I feel like an Elon Musk Zuckerberg combo will be the Facebook chip. Okay, we are 15 minutes away, guys. Let's keep going through these studios. I can pull up maybe we can make a little list here. Well, we know 343, right? Halo Infinite. Compulsion Games. They made We Happy Few, which wasn't my thing. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if they're gonna have anything. But they own Double Fine. I'm absolutely sure we'll see more of Double Fine. Right, Psychonauts 2 or something. They own In Exile. So the Wasteland 3 is coming. So maybe we'll see that. They own Bard's Tale too, right? Bard's Tales. They own Mojang, so maybe we'll see something of Minecraft. They've been really pushing. I saw a lot of that RTX ray tracing shit for Minecraft. Maybe they'll show something about Minecraft on Xbox Series X. It allows you more ways to get paying for skins and mods that you shouldn't have to pay for because they're all free on PC. Ninja Theory, so we'll definitely see the new Hellblade. Obsidian's a big one. I'd love to see Obsidian come out, be like teasing their next big project after the Outer Worlds, which I kind of got bored of that game. I know people loved it, but to me, it's kind of like it felt dated. We already talked about Playground. They got Forza Horizon. That was the last game in the series, I think, was Forza Horizon 4, right? So their other studio, potentially Fable. Rare, who knows what they're doing? They're still doing Sea of Thieves, so maybe we'll get Sea of Thieves upgrade. That's now on Steam, right? So maybe we'll see a bigger, better version on Xbox Series X, which will mirror some big update in the PC version. The Black Tusk is now called the Coalition, right? They make the gears. I don't know. They already have 4K gears working on PC. I don't know what they're gonna show. The Gears 6. They have Gears Tactics, right? Which is okay if you like tactics games. They have the Initiative. We don't know what the Initiative's doing, right? Tanner says you're typing on PS4 and it's really awkward. You can plug in a keyboard, dude. I think it works for any of the typing interfaces, right? Doesn't it? I never actually used it myself, but you can use the keyboard and mouse on PS4 to play Modern Warfare as well. I actually have a little attachment. I think Nyko made it. You plug into the bottom of your PS4 controller. I have one for Xbox as well. The keyboard sucks ass, but it's a little faster at typing. But I think you can just plug in a little keyboard. I wonder if my little mini keyboard would work. That would be so handy because it's portable. My 60% Razer keyboard. All right. Got screeners for the Umbrella Academy for Adrian. Okay, great. I'm getting so much spam email these days. Guests weigh in on binge-worthy crime shows. I already unsubscribed from this list. You don't have a keyboard? What do you mean you don't have a keyboard? How do you type? If you hear me typing a lot, it's because I'm punching through emails. Razer launches a new entry-level keyboard with per-key lighting. It's called the Synosa V2. $70. Oh, Crisis Remastered. Just got a code for that. You don't have a computer, Tanner? You don't have a laptop or anything? All right, Peter Morix is up. We're gonna have a big team, guys, covering this. So Alex Leadbeater, our managing editor on Screen Rant, my right-hand man, he's gonna be on Discord, live reactions. He's a PlayStation player, so I'm very curious what he thinks. And just recently kind of got back into gaming hardcore. He's long played games, but recently he's got into it hardcore. I think because of what we're doing on Screen Rant with more gaming coverage. Also, my daughter told me to change these lights in the back to green. Normally it's like purple and blue and stuff, so... And she doesn't even know green is the Xbox color. So she's on the ball. And she's only 3 years and 1 day old. Think about that. Covering live for Screen Rant, we're going to have Camden. One of our feature editors, Camden. Our features editor, Chris. Maybe our brand new hire, Bryant Pereira, who's now on Screen Rant's game features team. He's training to be our second editor there. Alex Santa Maria, who came from Tech Raptor. He's a staff writer for us now and helps do a lot of reviews and previews. Zachary Fairfax, you've seen him in stream. I don't know if Zach's here. Say hi, Zach, if you're here. Zach is also a super talented writer and is also now kind of a staff writer for our news team as well. Both those guys are awesome. Scott Baird, our boy in the UK, he's a staff writer for The Gamer, our sister site, but he also writes for us and does all of our Dungeons and Dragons coverage. New interviews on that coming Friday. Who else? Riley Little, who I've brought into the industry 11 years ago, helps edit and manage news for us on Thursdays and Fridays, and is our Xbox Nintendo specialist. He's running the news shift right now. My boy Philip Tinner, who's our full-time news editor. We have weird shifts. He does weekends and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think he'll be on too. So we have a lot of people covering every trailer, every announcement, and then we'll do follow-up features. Let's see. Big team. That's just some of them. Peter Morix, he just came on. He's the West Coast, so it's early for him. Chipotle Sam. Oh, wait. Do you work for The Gamer, Sam? Am I crossing wires here? Yeah, Scott Baird is awesome. Scott Baird is a powerhouse of writing, man. That guy writes between both sites, he writes a lot of content and really knows his shit. Scott does really good reviews too, so I love that he writes a lot of reviews for us. Just PS4, says Tanner. Wait, Sam, watching which Ben? There's like 5 Bens I know on that have been related to SR. Ben Kendrick? Or as we like to call him, Dirty Ken Bendrick. You know what I'm saying? That's his old nickname from the podcast. Anthony used to call him that. Which Ben? I'm glad you're a fan of The Gamer. What? Sam, you were the feature reviews editor for TG. Oh my god, I had you mixed up. Well, shit, are you covering this then? You're Ben's stepbrother and you work for The Gamer, and Ben's cousin now works for SR. I feel like there's a lot of family stuff going on here, Sam. Maybe you can explain. No stepbrother of mine works for Screen Rant or The Gamer or Game Rant. Well, that's awesome, dude. I apologize. I had you mixed up. You guys are really... What's the word I'm looking for? God damn it. I'm blanking because I'm tired. What's the word when you hire your family? Shit. I can't even make the joke. Anyways. I see Ben's forcing his family everywhere across the network. Oh, Ben's wife works for Valnet too. The whole family. When Ben has kids, they're all going to work for Screen Rant. Just FYI. Or Game Rant. Or The Gamer. Maybe CBR too. A kid for each one. A kid for each entertainment brand. That's the future. The next generation. Sam, whereabouts do you live? Are you inbreeding? What? No. Ben's wife is not a sibling of Ben. Nepotism, that's it. Captain Nepotism over here. Chipotle Sam, we're going to call you Nepotism Sam. I like Chipotle, though. Tough one. Nepotism Sam. Tanner only has PS4. Man, how do you do it? What you could at least do is if you have a tablet or something, is get just like the, Logitech keyboard for it. Or like all the new tablets you can get. Like the Pro tablet has a built-in keyboard. Tanner says Ember is ahead of her time. Oh, Tanner, did you see my thing in Discord about the Hasbro figures? There's a lot of closed studios that Xbox has as well. Well, a lot of them are consolidated. Oh, we'll see. Where's Jermaine? We'll see the new Microsoft Flight Simulator as well, I'm sure, running on the Series X. It's going to look beautiful, no doubt. But the old studio that used to make those games was called Ace's Game Studio, and they're closed down. But some of the other ones, Digital Anvil, they made Brute Force. That's a game I'd like to see come back. Same with Freelancer. Oh, these are good IPs too. Big Park, Digital Anvil, they were consolidated. On Ensemble, who made Age of Mythology, Age of Empires, hit the first Halo Wars. They closed. That's sad. FASA, 90s, they made MechWarrior. I guess Crimson Skies too, gone. MechWarrior is now at Piranha Games out of Vancouver, who last year met with Phil Spencer. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe MechWarrior 5 or some version of MechWarrior Online comes to console. UBI at 11? Alright, buddy. So, I know you're Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and especially Marvel, but you probably saw this. They're doing premium... Hasbro's doing premium 6-inch figure lines for all their IPs now, right? So they're fixing up the shitty old Power Rangers toys, as you saw. We know they have Marvel Legends for Marvel, right? They get the Black Series for Star Wars. Now they have the G.I. Joe Classified Series for G.I. Joes. I have a 6-pack right here in this box of the brand new G.I. Joe figures. And if you saw on Monday, I debuted the exclusive for the new Cobra Commander figure, which comes out in September. All of these are available in Hasbro Pulse. I also debuted the new Star Wars Wampa figure yesterday. When did I do that? I forget. Oh crap, I forgot to do something. There's an exclusive I was going to do today for a movie, a small movie. I'll do that later. I got some codes for Carrion. Ghostbusters has new Lego. Yeah, I saw that. Nostalgic Adventure Echo Generation revealed for Xbox Series X. Okay. That must have been a pre-show game. You guys see this? Echo Generation. Small game. Emails are coming in hot right now. EA Sports FIFA, I don't care. Early access, I don't care. Another VR game. We don't review early access games. You'll be on at 11, says Tanner. Okay. 2 minutes to count down. G.I. Joe looks amazing. There are too many legends right now. Yeah, there are. Yeah, but they're also doing this with... What's the other thing? They're doing premium figures for... Power Rangers, right? G.I. Joe. They just sent me another thing. I want to say it was Ghostbusters. Didn't they just announce a Rick Moranis figure or something? Looks like we're 2 minutes away, guys. Shenanigans. Oh, I spelled shenanigans wrong. Hayes, our features writer, just adopted a new kitten this week. That's cute. I want to see a pic. All right, guys, you ready? 50 seconds. Oh, actually, maybe I need to do this differently. I don't know if you guys... Actually, maybe... Oh, echo. Crap, I don't think you'll be able to hear it. Okay, maybe we'll turn this off. We'll do something different here. There's no sound coming from this, right? Fuck. Turn this off. Turn that. Leave that on. Leave to close that. Close that. That's gonna be news. Here we go, guys. Okay, I'm gonna switch it to this. Switching windows. Halo. Hang on, you can't do it over Twitch?
The Mjolnir exosuit is now complete.
There's no sound if I don't do it that way. Are you sure?
The war to come.
Let me see here. Are you sure?
Liquid crystal cannot rise on its own. Titanium alloy cannot prevail in the face of extinction.
If I turn the sound off, can you hear it? No, you don't hear it at all, eh?
It all means nothing. Until you
Send me a
step
clip,
inside.
Matt Ghost. Zachary Fairfax says, grapple hook. Oh, here we go, gameplay.
Am I dead already? I must be. I mean, this is a punishment, right? Yep, this is death.
That guy's face doesn't look next gen.
No! No! No, 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 no! This isn't happening. I'm going to have to make an emergency landing. Hold on, Chief. No! No! You! I can't stand this! Who you are.
Breathe.
No! You don't get to tell me what to do. You don't get to tell me anything. We're... Are you even listening?
I count 3 anti-aircraft cannons.
3 what?
You'll be safe here.
Oh, I'll be safe. Safe? I haven't been safe since I found you. I found you, remember? You were out there on your own, and you'd still be out there if it wasn't for me. I thought I was going home.
There won't be a home if we don't stop the banished.
You keep saying that. We're outgunned, outnumbered. I know I saw condors over there. I'm going to dig through them and find one with the working slip space drive. And when you're done with this war, we'll get away from here. Far away.
Wait here.
Oh. Please. Let me see what I can find.
Who said that? Machios? Yo.
When I get back, we can look.
If you're a content creator interested in watching along or co-stream the Xbox Game Showcase or posting a reaction recap after the show, know that Xbox is appreciative for today's showcase. Just FYI. These graphics look like a game that came out 5 years ago. I mean, they're fine, but they don't look next gen. Most powerful console. Far Cry map. Geographic progression confirmed. This is a Ubisoft game. One of my guys says looks like Halo 3. Let's look at the insanely large crosshairs. Yo, is that a grappling hook at the bottom right? There it is. The grapple. I don't like the robotic movement. Like, why is your gun always like this? It's like, come on, man. Didn't they learn anything from Far Cry and Call of Duty? Every melee being that, I'm kind of getting bored of. Oh man. Like, Far Cry does this stuff, the open world stuff, better. Doom does the better grapple and attacks. And everything else feels like Halo 3. But it just looks old. And this melee is the same every time. Come on. Far Cry did that better 8 years ago. 7 years ago.
This war months ago. Your people are broken, scattered, hunted, defeated by me. I wish I could tell you it was difficult, but it wasn't. We are one step ahead, always. The ring is already under our control. Soon, the auditorium as well. The Harbinger and the Banished share the same goal. We fight together to honor the will of Atriox. But without challenge, I grew weary, lost, alone.
Is it Clancy Brown?
Now stand. This is my last fight. A true test of legends. Our story will outlive us both. Set a fire in your heart, Spartan. Bare your fangs. Fight hard. Die well.
This guy's auditioning for the next Warcraft. No date. Yikes. Definitely Xbox One, less Xbox Series X. Oh, Redmond. I thought it was going a
We
little
hope you
hard to
enjoyed
Vancouver.
your first look at Halo Infinite's campaign. I'm incredibly proud of the team at 343, and we're thrilled to share a hint of the epic battles that await you on the next chapter of Master Chief's journey. This is the most ambitious campaign we've ever created at 343. For the first time, players will have the freedom to explore a mysterious new Halo ring that's several times larger than our last two Halo games combined. Halo Infinite has been built from the ground up to take full advantage of Xbox Series X. Bigger,
But it's an Xbox One game.
more complex visual effects, displayed with 10 times the processing power per pixel of Halo 5. This will be running at a flawless 60 frames per second and will allow us to bring the Halo ring to life in ways that have never been possible before. We look forward to sharing even more about Halo Infinite in the coming months,
Ugh.
including the first look at multiplayer. And now, please enjoy a glimpse of what others in the Xbox Game Studios family have been working on.
I don't know, man. That
World premiere.
I don't get excited from that, dude. I mean, it's Halo, so I'll play it, but I'm not excited for any of that. It seems like less than what we have right now. Like Call of Duty at a glance seems to do all of that, all the action gameplay better. So I don't know. State of Decay? Oh. Crossbow? I'm in. Called it. State of Decay 2 was awful. Just awful at launch.
Welcome everyone
Hey,
to
Phil.
the Xbox Game
I want that
Showcase.
shirt.
Today, we're showing games from 9 of our 15 Xbox Game Studios, including unveils of 5 new first-party games. What you will see today is how Xbox Game Studios are harnessing their passions to bring their dreams to life. We believe that how you find and play your games is as important as the device you play them on. Xbox Game Pass is the best way to discover and play, and we want you to be able to experience as many great games as possible. So Game Pass members, you can play every
State of Decay
game you see
2
today.
was
From
on
your subscription or
Xbox
free to
One and
play.
PC like 3 years ago.
These games will
It was
look
just
and play
awful.
best
It played so
on
bad.
Xbox Series X, delivering unmatched fidelity, performance, precision, and immersion. And we've designed the most consistently powerful next-generation console.
Checking those links now, Matt
And
goes.
we've built state-of-the-art platform technology to allow every developer to realize their full vision. One studio that has always pushed the limits of our hardware is Turn 10. And they're early in development on the next Forza Motorsport. And Xbox Series X is bringing them closer to their dream of unprecedented realism with ray tracing and native 4K resolution, all at 60 frames per second. The trailer you're about to see was captured completely in-engine.
World premiere.
This is the pre-show he's talking about, aren't they? Hey, Moon! Vacuos, well, all those tweets are referring to the pre-show, which is exclusive. The main show is not exclusive to YouTube. This is the Xbox Twitch channel, which, as I showed you, you're allowed to stream it. Xbox asked us to stream it. Oops.
Our world has a rhythm. We all sense it. But only a few truly feel it.
We've seen this.
It is found in the smallest moments. In every step of a perilous journey. In the symmetry of ritual. In the bonds we share. And in moments of stillness. It teaches us to look beyond the expected.
I like the art.
To be a light in dark places. To seek answers. And to stand watch over our world. Our world has a rhythm. We all sense it.
Guys, we're allowed to stream this. It's the pre-show that was exclusive to YouTube. That's what the problem was.
Few truly feel it.
Xbox is asking for co-streams on Twitch of this. Oh, he is finally. Okay. One sec. Shit, I don't know his phone number. Hang on. There he is. Yo, Alex, can you hear me?
To you a magical and untamed natural world
Alex,
for you to explore.
turn on your
and
microphone,
truly
sir.
Lose yourself in. It's a place to be eternal. And eternal has the gift to sense and feel how magic flows through nature and connects every living thing. The team here at Rare are so excited to be working on something like Everwild. And I hope you're excited too. But I just want to take this opportunity to say a massive, massive thank you to everyone who's shown their support and love, and for the incredible, awesome, positive community that's already growing around this.
Can you hear me now?
Thank
There
you,
we are.
thank you,
I
thank you.
can. Say it again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We can hear you.
Good.
Whoa.
I just got hit with a flood of memories.
Love you, Mom.
You seeing what I'm seeing?
Mom?
Allison?
Yeah.
Oh, Moon, it's okay. We already,
It doesn't matter.
I showed him the Xbox
But they don't
article
believe
where they
us.
said you can co-stream it. It's just the pre-show.
We all believed that what happened that night was self-defense. But we couldn't be sure.
It doesn't matter that they kept us apart.
Brother, sister.
It doesn't
we look after
matter.
each other.
It doesn't matter that finding the truth
It doesn't matter.
feels impossible.
We're all done with fairy tales.
The only thing that matters is you're my brother. And the only way to move forward is to keep looking back.
We've been getting these visions whenever we see or hear something really emotional. Everything we thought we knew about Marianne just got thrown out the window.
Echo, what's going on? Well, you fell asleep at 9 p.m.?
She loved you.
She attacked you. We both saw it.
I thought coming here would be closing a chapter of our lives.
Good for you. I pass out early sometimes, but I only get 4 hours of sleep a night. Skill sleep 10 hours a night.
Nothing good
feels
comes
like.
from stirring up old memories.
We don't really have a choice about that.
There's always a choice, son.
There's always a choice, son.
I can't do this.
Is it loud to you guys? Chapter 1. Ooh. You said 15 hours? Oh my god, you're living the life. If I get that across 3 days, I'm happy.
Hey everyone.
Hey!
My name is Gennady. I'm the co-founder and director of technology at Moon Studios. Today we're very excited to tell
Ori.
you that we're working on a very, very special version of Ori and the Will of the Wisps, specifically for Xbox Series X. We're
We've
now
already
at
played
a
this
time
game.
where we can reach levels of fidelity and frame rates
Guys,
previously absolutely impossible on any console.
fidelity levels.
An already gorgeous game like Ori can now run at 120 Hz refresh rate in full 4K HDR in its highest quality, delivering unprecedented game.
It is a beautiful game, so
smooth
that
animation,
it's gonna look
super crisp,
amazing.
sharp
120,
image,
4K.
and low
Ooh.
input latency, which is just so important for the tight and
Ori's
precise
awesome, dude,
platforming
for sure.
feel of this game. We can also boost the immersion in different spaces. in our
Immersion
world
boosts.
by using premium audio tech.
Fidelity
that we
levels.
previously just could not simulate in real time. And with all of this crazy hardware power, we can give our players more options with how they want to play our game. We can't wait for all of you to experience this very special version of Ori coming to Xbox Series X with smart delivery later
Smart
this year.
delivery. So you don't have to fucking buy it again, thank God. I will totally try that on Xbox Series X. 120 frames sounds insane. Although, we could probably do that on PC already, right? Yeah, we should create a card. Keywords. Marketing keywords 2020. Oh.
The furthest reaches of the universe comes the biggest mystery.
Outer
in
Worlds
the
2,
galaxy.
exclusive to
An
Xbox.
abandoned research facility, and now shady corporate intrigue.
Marvel of the Gorgon asteroid. A sordid stopover, full of salacious secrets.
Graphics
and
look
scandalous
dated.
Strangers.
Greetings, attractive patron.
They're going
You
backwards in
are
graphics
looking
here.
Downright unlawful today.
With the right kind of case,
They wanted us to develop a miracle drug.
can put you on the wrong side of a gun.
Ugh.
Or sword. Or this thing.
The most powerful console in the world. Play games from 2008 to 2014.
Intrigue.
A word of advice before you go, Captain?
Could you imagine?
Trust
Skyrim, 120 frames per second.
What will you find on Gorgon?
It's DLC?
This unit cannot bring you any drinks in its current state.
What is it?
If you're waiting for the biggest game of the year, then wait for Cyberpunk. But if you're ready for the smallest, we've got you covered. From Obsidian Entertainment, the makers of games that are nothing like this one. This summer, strive together to thrive together. Or just feed your friend to the spiders and go solo.
Game is unfinished.
At Obsidian, we're dedicated to pushing narrative and role-playing games. It's something we do every day when we come to the office, and we can't wait for you to play our next great adventure, Peril on Gorgon. It's the first of 2 planned story expansion packs for the Outer Worlds that we're putting together with our friends from the Private Division. Now, it's also important that we continue to evolve how we tell stories in games, and Grounded is the perfect example of that. The team has been working for the last 2 years on how to tell an Obsidian story within.
I really like the style of this game. It could be fun. It could be what Fortnite was originally trying to be, right?
On Xbox.
Now it's called Fortnite Survive, whatever.
Access. We want to hear from you, and we want to continue to build Grounded together. Oh yeah, if you've been wondering, we have been working on that next big Obsidian RPG. Check this out.
World premiere.
Outer Worlds 2? Fallout New Vegas 2? South Park 3?
We have always known war.
The Elder Scrolls 6? Could you imagine? Like, we don't need you, Bethesda.
It forged our empire. Turned heroes into queens and kings. And decimated our foes.
I can make that shot.
Now our oaths are lost. Forsaken. And you must face the monsters.
Oh shit.
Born. Is an oath worth the weight of a crown?
Holy shit. They're going right after the Elder Scrolls series.
Avowed is an expansive first-person RPG set in the fantasy world of Eora. When Obsidian Entertainment joined Xbox Game Studios, they told us that this epic game is the one they want to make. As creators of critically acclaimed RPGs, this is Obsidian at their best, and it is being built from the ground up to take full advantage of the power of Xbox Series X. At Xbox Game Studios, we also work with independent developers, always with the goal of empowering them to bring their ideas to life. I'm excited to announce our work with Interior Night, a new studio led by some of the most talented storytellers in our industry. Let's meet Caroline Marshall, studio head of Interior Night, to debut their original game.
Bonjour, I'm Caroline from Interior Night. Our team is really passionate about interactive storytelling because when you play a story, you step into the character's
Is that game called
shoes.
Avowed?
You get to experience their fears, their hopes, their conflicts firsthand. And in the process, you learn more about yourself. And this is quite powerful. Our first game spans 30 years in the American Southwest. It's a story about family, resilience, and sacrifice. But most of all, it's about how you will shape the fate of real, flawed people trying to find their way in a world they don't fit in. I hope you enjoyed the trailer.
World premiere.
Fortune, smile and fade. I haven't seen you much of late. I need you now, I cannot wait. Wanna looking all around.
We were on our way to start a new life that summer. For our family, it was just a stopover.
Hey, Equa. Yeah, I have Cody G's writing it right now.
For mine,
I'm just kind of helping manage
it was the end of the road.
and tweak headlines and such.
The sun went down on all of us that day. Was it fate? Coincidence? No. It was a long-forgotten secret, buried in the dark.
All my life, I've been scared of the shadows. But now, I'm finally ready to step into the light. I got your letters.
Here at Ninja Theory, we're hard at work on all of our projects, including Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, which we announced at the Game Awards back in December. An incredible 3.5 million players have now experienced Senua's story in Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. We're excited to start giving you an insight into what comes next for our Celtic warrior, an experience that we'll be building in Unreal Engine 5 for Xbox Series X and PC. I'm happy to reveal today that Senua's Saga will be set in the beautiful country of Iceland.
One of my favorite countries. I was supposed to be there in April, but this goddamn pandemic
About our location
ruined
scouting
it.
and how we've discovered the history of our setting.
So most exciting things so far are what, Avowed and
Straight after
Grounded.
the show on the Ninja Theory YouTube channel.
That was a great cinematic.
It's been so touching to see the impact that Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice has had on so many players, and we're incredibly thankful to all of the fans that have
Oh
been
my
part
god,
of
fucking what's
Senua's
going on
story
here?
so
WordPress
far.
is being
And we're excited
total
for
asshole.
you to be
There we go.
part of our development journey from here on out.
What? Peter, he's been sitting
Yes!
there the whole time? Hey, who wrote the song?
Love Jack Black and Timmy together.
Oh, Peter, fantastic work. Love the song. Pretty much. It's gonna be fun to sing it. Now it's time to rock. Shall we start rocking?
Probably been a long time since you've had a visitor. I hope you don't mind pop-ins. Where are we?
It's a quiet place.
Lost alone, neither skin nor bone. Just a thought is all I've got. Now my cover's blown. At the bottom of a lake, a frozen feeling. When my friends pulled me back up,
This is very, very Double Fine, right?
Senses are the magic keys. They fill the holes I've had, unlocking all my memories, which I never.
I never played Psychonauts. What do you guys think? One of the voice actors is faster than light. In faster than light. Streams marbles. Faster than, you mean the FTL? I didn't realize there were voice actors in that.
Games built by Xbox Game Studios, and there is just so much more for you to play
Minecraft shirt.
on Xbox. We are partnering with thousands of creators, from the largest publishers to the
Thousands of creators. Largest publishers. Thousands of creators. Largest publishers. Biggest games ever. Watch the windows.
Not just geographically, but in history too. I'm thrilled to announce that this fall, our friends at Bungie will bring Destiny 2 to Xbox Series X.
Every Xbox first-party game string is coming to PC. They said that already.
10 million Game Pass subscribers. You also get access
Every
to
Xbox
all
Studios game.
current
Every
Destiny 2
Xbox Studios game is coming to PC. Every single
For
one.
Game Pass Ultimate members,
And
Destiny
all of
2
them
will also
are
be
play anywhere.
playable
Meaning you
on
buy it for
mobile
Xbox, you get it
from
for
the
Series X
cloud.
and PC. Every single
Later
one.
this year, Bungie will also release
That means
a
Halo
new
Infinite you can play on
version of
PC.
Destiny 2 that is optimized for Xbox Series X. 4K resolution running at 60 frames per second. Here's an all-new look at Bungie's Destiny 2 Beyond Light.
Yeah, Moon. We already had that discussion. The Xbox One, Xbox One X, Xbox One S, Xbox Series X, PS4, PS5, they're all PCs. Literally built the same way. Just optimized strictly for gaming.
Every moment brings them closer. It's time to step beyond the light.
A little bit of Dishonored and Destiny in there. Especially that power sliding. Very Destiny. Oh, it is Destiny. I should pay attention more. It's very Destiny. Oh, it is.
This is Destiny
Exactly
2
that.
that you can play any way you want thanks to Xbox Game
Yes, actually, I only watched the back half of it, so that makes a lot more sense now. I saw the word Shatter. I'm like, is that the game name?
We're just honored to be able to collaborate with them. Xbox Series X.
Remember when you used to own Bungie?
And experienced creators to bring the future of games to life like never before. Unique perspectives, unexpected innovations, and fresh voices that demand to be heard and that we can't wait for you to discover. All of the games you're about to see are being built to launch exclusively on Xbox.
Was it you talking about the Kraken?
Thanks and enjoy.
This is Seattle Kraken. First class unveiling of NHL's 32nd franchise. Bring it to Canada, you assholes! Seattle's very close to Vancouver, though. It's fine. Well, I got details on the Outer Worlds. $15. It looks like Stalker. Remember the Stalker games? This is Stalker, right? It looks... That's... Call of Pripyat. It is! Fucking called it from like 1 second of footage. Holy shit.
World premiere.
I even called Destiny 2, even though it was Destiny 2. Yikes. Nice shoulder pads. They should make them bigger.
My Lord Inquisitor, I've reached a term of prime and begun our investigation.
Stalker was fucking cool when that came out, man. If that was like a multiplayer thing, it would have
Squad has been sent into sub-level 6 of the
really
hive
set
to determine the full extent
the groundwork for what modern survival games.
I'll know more when they make it back.
New Forza.
If they make it back.
News. Gaming.
World premiere.
World premiere.
Something changed, my heart could not contain the miracle of this world and all that it creates. With every passing day, the winds might grow stronger, carry us away, but we will hold on to joy to light the way to keep.
A reimagining of the long-running, best-in-class racing franchise. Don't you forget it. DMCA takedown.
World premiere.
World premiere.
Approaching orbit. Scans a no-go. Sure you
Console exclusive means it's exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem, as in it's not coming to PlayStation or Nintendo. That's what console exclusive means. If it was just an Xbox One exclusive, it's only an Xbox One.
Hold on, let me check.
I still get emails every week about Tetris. Multiplayer Tetris, this and that Tetris.
Find anything good?
Bex, you're not gonna believe this. Ouch! What the?
This is Forza Motorsport 8, right?
It all starts with a dead girl. A forest. The moon.
Which game, Equa?
And then the gunshot. Every story has two sides. A regular, rational one. But also a darker.
Oh, Tetris Effect, yeah. Well, didn't that start as a PlayStation exclusive for VR?
I can see both. Worse, I can live them.
Oh shit, I fucked up the URL. I will. This is Forza 8, right? Oh shit.
World premiere.
World. Yeah, I'm not sure. Is this another old game? Hard pass. Yes, Bill and Ted 3 trailer dropped, and it's coming to video on demand and theaters September 1st, I think. Right? Another Warhammer game. It's called Dark Tide. (2021). Tetris Effect Connected, it's called. There's a bunch of details and enhancements and shit. Online or local co-op and competitive play for 1 to 3 players. Cross-play between all Xbox platforms. The entire Tetris Effect single-player game is also included. That's just more features.
Global risk is scared of the weapon you will become.
Crossfire is the huge shooter in Asia. They're adding a campaign. But it's like a... what do you call it? Counter-Strike.
Blacklist. We make our own path. We protect our own.
Can you protect me from fate?
17 seconds. Soon, the entire world will burn, all because of him.
The ghost is here!
Today, you saw 10 world premieres and 22
10
console
world
launch
premieres.
exclusives. Game Pass members can play every game you have seen today from Xbox Game Studios and all of our partners in the subscription or free to play. This is just a peek at some of the new titles coming to Xbox Series X. And some of the games you already love and some you have yet to play will also be optimized for Xbox Series X.
Man, I
Games
love
like
optimization.
Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, and Sea of Thieves. You'll get the next-gen upgrades at no additional cost when they launch. You can expect a lineup of over 100 titles for Xbox Series X this holiday season.
98.
With Series
Also
X and
available
Game
on
Pass,
Xbox One.
Xbox is the place to play, and you are at the center of everything we do. Now,
Where's
Lord
Perfect
knows
Dark? Where's the
we
Warner
didn't
Brothers
visit
tease?
all of our Xbox Game Studios today.
Where's
That
Mechasol?
means we'll have more to share later this year. But until then, here's one more thing.
World premiere.
World. Hey, Fable! Finally.
The world is filled with stories.
Sir Patrick
of
Stewart.
legendary heroes and treacherous villains. Of fantastical creatures and wondrous places where nature and magic live in perfect harmony. Not all stories have happy endings.
Maybe not. That's not Patrick Stewart, is it?
Yours
It is Fable.
has yet to be written.
Next gen Fable. Good music choice. Fable was like a very cartoonish and exaggerated fantasy game that Peter Molyneux, remember that, and Lionhead tried to say it's more detailed than the Elder Scrolls. You can do everything, and then they had about a quarter of the features he promised. And it was like a third-person fantasy action game. I thought it was okay. There's a lot of fun ideas in it, though. The problem is, Halo doesn't look that great. State of Decay 2 sucked ass, and they showed no gameplay of State of Decay 3, so why are we get excited about that? Fable, they showed nothing for. Forza, it's a teaser. We know Forza's great. Crossfire is not a great game. It's just an Asian game to bring it over, because it's cheap to bring it over. It's old. It's an older game, too. And a campaign, no one gives a shit about a generic single-player campaign for that. We have Call of Duty, bro. Well, that's that. Yo, Alex, still there? You're muted in Discord if you are. Good sir?
Can you hear me?
I can. What'd you think?
I mean, I'm probably not going to get an Xbox.
That's it.
I've got weird reverb there. Yeah, I'm not going to get an Xbox, but there's some interesting things. Halo and Fable are definitely the two things. Like, I know you said that you weren't a big fan of Fable. I definitely liked it, but it was my first like open world console game, so I've got more affinity for that one.
Yeah, it was fun. It's fun. It's tough because like I followed the development of that from the beginning, and Peter Molyneux promised this thing that would do everything the Elder Scrolls like Morrowind and Oblivion did, but more. And they didn't do any of the shit that, you know what I mean? So it felt like, here's a really cheap, colorful version of Skyrim where like you just keep mashing the A or B button to swing, and then all these colorful sparks pop out of the enemies and you pick it up. And it's like, what the fuck is this? It just felt like the kids' version of Skyrim for me. But, you know, as a third-person action game, it was okay. And I liked the ideas of the progression of like your town and your family and the dog and that kind of stuff.
The dog was really cool. I never really, so I was never sort of super aware of all of his claims until after the fact. So I knew I was playing Fable and I learned it was the game where the guy had sort of oversold.
Yeah.
But for what it was, I thought it was pretty good. I remember it being one of the first times of like experiencing games marketing outside of like normal gaming areas. Like I remember going to the cinema and them having lots of posters for Fable and stuff, and that being sort of like, it was a very early sort of mainstream cinematic sort of game.
Yeah.
Cinematic in the loose sense of the word.
Yeah. But man, that opening with Halo, I thought that was very disappointing.
I thought it looked, it looked like Halo. It looked like sort of, I played Halo 4, I didn't play 5.
Oh, man.
And this looked more like the Halo that I originally played than those games.
That's it. I didn't see a single new thing except like the grappling hook, which has been in 100 other games. So I'm like, I don't. And like the animations, like going up to like do the melee attack, it's the same fucking right elbow swing over and over and over again. I'm like, guys, like Call of Duty and Far Cry for a decade have had more animations. Like I don't understand. And the open world map thing, it's like this has been done in every open world game with geographic progression for a decade. There's like not a single new thing. But worse, the graphics and the animations, it all looks dated. Like it just looks like this game should have come out 8 years ago.
The ships, the ship that was flying over as he was like going up to the base definitely looked like very blocky. That was the thing I noticed.
But even the skybox, there's like no lighting effects or anything. It just looks so generic.
The landscape I thought was cool, but yeah, I think it has all of the nostalgia vibes. It doesn't. I mean, again, it's not going to convince me to buy an Xbox. I think is the big thing. compared to the PlayStation 1, there's fewer things. Although I knew before any of these that was going to get a PlayStation, so that's kind of one of the sides. But I'm watching more out of curiosity than out of the desire to be sold.
Yeah, I don't know, and like, I'm disappointed because the games we kind of knew were coming. They didn't show much of, like State of Decay 3. Like they're teasing that like a big thing, but State of Decay 2 was a total piece of shit, like a 5 out of 10 game, like absolute fucking garbage. So like there's just zero reason to be excited about a third one of those because they fucking suck ass, right? So unless there's some crazy revamp which they didn't show, and then Forza's great, it's always great, but like they just showed a teaser for that, so it's like okay, I mean. We know Forza's pretty, but show us something. And I don't know. The most exciting thing is the games that are coming out way in the future, like Avowed, Obsidian coming in and like just giving the big old fist to Bethesda with their own Elder Scrolls take. That's the most exciting thing. I would love to see that game come out before the Elder Scrolls 6.
I mean, who knows when Elder Scrolls 6 will come out? I think so much of it was all about like basic visuals, and like there was a lot of cinematic trailers. Like so many of the trailers were focused, even if they had gameplay, felt more focused on the cinematic side of things. Like it was like here's a cool sort of concept thing, and then a little snippet of what the actual game was like.
Yeah.
I feel with the PlayStation one, there was a lot more focus on the gameplay and on that sort of side of things.
I'm also disappointed with Halo because the thing that actually matters with Halo is what they're going to do with multiplayer and if they're going to do something bigger. Like, is it going to be a live service? Is it going to be able to compete with Destiny, or like on the multiplayer front, can it compete with Battlefield and Warzone? You know what I mean? Like, what does it have? And they didn't even show that. I'm like, this next Xbox, they're pushing cloud services, cross-play, massive cloud stuff. Super powerful loading time. So I'm like, okay, they're going to do something crazy with multiplayer. And like, oh, we'll show you that later. I'm like, motherfucker, we know what single player boring ass Halo looks like. Show us something awesome. Like, not generic, let's go up and punch these same little fucking douches you've been fighting for 20 years. It's, I don't know, man. What a letdown. But, I don't know. There are some good looking games, but it's, as a PC player, every single one of these is coming to PC. So there's less and less of a need. For the actual console. True. It's very strange.
Are you going to get it?
I don't know. If it wasn't for work, I would say this is probably the first time I'm like, no. Because, like I said, every game's coming to PC, But, also I'm in a situation where I'm not playing console games, given that I have a 3-year-old and one TV we don't use. But for the sake of work and reviewing it, I probably will.
Yeah.
Just to have it. I wish it was a little fridge though. Like if it was a little fridge, I could put it on my desk and put like drinks in it. You know what I mean? And play games with it. But it's not. It just looks like one.
Yeah. I can't remember what the exact dimensions are. I'm not sure I'll be able to fit an Xbox One comfortably where my TV is. I got a new TV recently, but it wouldn't fit alongside it. The PlayStation will.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the Xbox would.
Yeah. I gotta look at the length of the PlayStation actually. Is it like wider than the PS4 Pro? It's gotta be, right?
Is the Pro wider than the regular 4?
It's taller. It's the same width, I think.
I think it's bigger in all dimensions. It's definitely wider.
Shit.
It depends. Wait, hold on. Are we which dimensions are we talking? You're talking like
so when you lay it down, like how wide is it?
Yeah, it's definitely wider, taller, whichever dimension you're using.
I only have like half an inch of space under my monitor stand to fit a console, so maybe both of these consoles I have to like stand up somewhere on a desk, which is really frustrating.
Yeah, there's comparisons based on like the length of the disk drive and stuff, and like it is considerably bigger. It feels like I think it's bigger in every dimension. It is, yeah. I'm looking at an image now, and it's like chunkier in every way.
Why do they have to go such weird fucking shapes? I'd almost rather they take the PS4. Do you have a PS4 or PS4 Pro?
PS4,
okay.
Regular.
So the PS4 Pro is the same thing, but they added another layer to it. So it's like a thicker sandwich, right? I wish the PS5 was like that with a fourth layer on top. So it's the same thing.
Yeah. It's looking at the comparison. The PS5 is like bigger than the PS3.
Oh,
size-wise.
What?
The PS3.
The PS3 was massive. The launch one.
Like the PS5 is bigger than the Xbox One, the original Xbox One, in terms of like size. Here. It is actually like.
Oh, it is big.
Yeah, right. I'll send you.
Oh yeah, it's got like 3 or 4 inches on the width of the PS, and it's fucking way taller too. Man, people are making fun of the size of the Xbox Series X. This PS5 is enormous, if this is accurate.
It's, I mean, yeah, well, it could be a little different, but like it's much taller than the Xbox, but also it's probably only about half the width of the Xbox as well. Like it is big, and also it's definitely, I think it's going to be longer as well, because the Xbox is like a square, whereas this is obviously straight, so it's going to go back further as well. Everyone's going to upgrade their TV stands for it.
Fuck me, it's better than the Xbox One X too. It is wider than the PS3. Oh my god! Dude, this thing's stupid. It's like one of those Origin PCs you buy that's supposed to be like console size, but it's still massive. Oh man. Fuck. I have a real issue with physical space in my house. Like, I really don't want to deal with either of these. Yikes. Man, they'd really gotten the form factor down with the Xbox, like, One S and X, and now it's like, they don't even give a shit at all.
I guess they've got to be different, though, right? If they did the PS5 being the PS4 Pro with another layer, people would just call it the PS4 Pro 2 or something. They need to be distinct. They need to look different. Like, otherwise, they get mocked for that.
True.
Like, you're gonna get mocked for anything. So go for, and obviously they're going for they really like the white curves on this one.
Man, yeah, it's real goofy shape.
Can the Series X go on its side?
Yeah,
or does it have to be vertical?
It can.
Yeah.
I don't know why they always advertise these things vertically. I fucking never stand consoles vertically. Oh, I don't feel right about putting discs in sideways. It doesn't feel natural.
When I had my Xbox 360, I would, depending on where I was, have it vertical.
Really?
And it was very weird. It was, yeah, and you had to it's like slotted into the tray, the discs. It was always very weird.
Huh. I was expecting more surprises. I mean, the big surprise was Avowed, I guess, but like I was really hoping they actually did something massive and acquired Warner Brothers or something. You know what I mean? Warner Bros. Interactive.
Yeah.
That would have been like, hey, Sony has some Spider-Man, we got fucking Batman, and it's like, no, we got nothing like that. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Psychonauts 2. Alright. Well, back to Comic-Con coverage, I guess.
Yep, Comic-Con and all the fun there. New Mutants.
Actually,
that's what everyone's waiting on.
Oh yeah, that's at 5 p.m., right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then The Boys is at 6 p.m. I've made a note of a bunch of other ones. There's like Collider's doing the Directors Roundtable at 5 as well.
Yeah, that'll be quite an interesting one, I think.
I'm especially excited because Kaczynski and Rodriguez are on it, and I'm hoping, for a tease or something coming from them beyond Top Gun 2 or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Rodriguez and Trevorrow even, he's done some interesting stuff. Obviously the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, and shitty stuff.
Well, yes.
Man, Jurassic World is such a trash pile franchise for me. I could not give a shit about Dominion.
No, I didn't think the first one was terrible. Like, it also came early on in the wave of like the remake sequels. But the second one I just completely tapped out on. Like, that was just an absolute mess. And I know he didn't direct that one, but his fingerprints are all over it.
Not a fan. Kaczynski, however, man, Tron, Oblivion, I'm so in. Top Gun 2 is going to be amazing.
He's very much a style-driven guy, which maybe is what Top Gun needs. I'm not as big a fan of Tron Legacy as you are. I like it. I think it looks good. It sounds good.
Yeah.
But the actual story is a bit.
Who cares? Yeah,
who
needs that?
The New Mutants panel is probably the biggest one to keep an eye on because I think there's a lot of expectation about them announcing something.
So we have interviews ready to go. The moment this panel ends, we publish our interviews and our exclusives. Although when we asked, I'll say this much, we asked Josh Boone, I'm like, so what do you feel about this releasing, when and how? And he's like, I don't give a shit. They don't tell me anything. I just hope people see it.
He's got his final cut. He's happy. He doesn't need anything
That's such
else.
bullshit.
Like,
That's what David Ayer said about fucking Suicide Squad when it came out, saying this is the director's cut. Now 2 years later, he's like, "Oh no, it's not my cut. I had no control." Like, he's a fucking liar because they were gonna reshoot this. They had planned to reshoot it. Boone wanted to reshoot it, and they didn't because it got caught up in the Fox acquisition. So, what's coming out is the original shitty version they passed on, right? They never reshot
it's the
it.
shitty version that they never reshot it. It's the shitty version that test audiences reacted poorly to or execs reacted poorly to.
So what are we talking about here? Like,
but also, you don't know how much Boone wanted the reshoots and how much he was towing the line and saying he wanted that. You get a lot of directors who are like, "Oh yeah, the reshoots were really good," when in fact the reshoots, when they're this sort of drastic, were not. You know, like Shane Black and The Predator is a good example where like he was totally for the reshoots, but from everything you gather, they did not improve the movie at all.
That movie was also terrible. Man, I would love to see them. It's such a weird thing, like especially with Bill and Ted announcing a date. I feel like New Mutants has to announce something, right? It can't just be Maybe they'll do the same thing. It'll be some sort of video on demand and theatrical combo.
I think we'll see more of that. I think that's really smart from Universal for Bill and Ted. I think like doing the combo thing. It's like because the big issue with Tenet, right, is they want to do the big wide release and they just can't do that because different places are handling it differently. So just doing it staggered and dealing it with it as it comes, like that's a good way to handle this. And so doing the Bill and Ted thing where you can watch it wherever.
For Bill and Ted, did they announce a price?
They did not. It'll probably be the $20, same as Invisible
They
Man
can
and
go
stuff like that.
higher, like on that. You know what I mean? Because if a movie ticket at a premium theater costs like $15 or whatever, like they could charge $40 for something like Tenet, and people would pay it.
But isn't this something that they were talking about years ago? Like I think it was
J.J. Abrams.
Sort of the $50 super duper premium thing.
Yeah.
We're kind of getting to the point where
now we need that.
Crazy.
But people like you and me, if you are you know really want to see a movie in advance in the comfort of your own home, where you can watch it multiple times for $50, you know what I mean? It makes sense. Or if you have a family, that's totally worth it. You know what I mean? So,
if it's one person, $50 is a lot. If you've got a family, if you've got a family with 3 kids, suddenly that's actually cheaper than going to the, when you're taking gas and concessions. Like,
totally, yeah. And J.J. Abrams' plan was to give a cut of that to the theater chains. You know what I mean? It was like 10 or 20 out of the 50 would go to them, 20 would go to whatever, and 10 would go to the service or something. You know what I mean? So it makes sense, especially now. Man, I bet they wish they jumped on that when they could. Because like I pay $50 for Tenet, for Wonder Woman, for Black Widow. You know what I mean? Like those big movies.
I think we'll begin to see that sort of happen. You know, now Bill and Ted's done it. That's sort of opened the floodgates. But the big thing with New Mutants is whether it'll go to VOD at all or whether it'll go to streaming. Well, streaming is such a different choice because like for Netflix, it's easy to throw 150 million at a movie and put it on streaming because if it doesn't matter because they have such a robust big catalog that 150 million is spread across a lot of movies. The way it works in traditional releasing is not that. You have to make your money back on that movie and you're not going to make your money back on streaming.
Yeah, although I mean, look, when I asked Disney about the Disney Plus rumors, they said no, it's totally fake.
Yeah.
But Disney Plus is so desperate for content. Like in the last, again, like every month, it's embarrassing how little they have compared to Netflix. Like Netflix is show, movie. And like, what does Disney have? Here's a behind the scenes look at Frozen. Here's a behind the scenes look at Mandalorian, that 6 30-minute episode thing from last year. It's like, man, where the fuck are the movies and shows? Like,
they had Artemis Fowl, which wasn't even meant to go on there and was not good.
It's bad.
Like if Artemis Fowl had like released in cinemas, we'd be having like the conversations that people have about like the Fantastic Fours and stuff about how badly like just a mess it was because it was only on streaming.
Wait, is Lando official? That's a rumor.
Like, yeah, Disney Plus has nothing. If you've not got kids, if you've not got a family, which obviously the back catalogue is useful. Like there really isn't much on there. There hasn't been anything on there since the Clone Wars. And that's obviously a small set of Star Wars fandom anyway. If they've really been hurt with the Marvel shows being delayed.
Yes.
But even then, they were coming too late. Like,
well, everything was rushed. They launched the service before it was ready. Didn't have any of their international agreements sorted out, right? And the platform interface was like a prototype. Wasn't even finished. They just needed to get something in. I guess Bob Iger was just trying to get that as his other big pillar for his book out just in time for the holiday. But they did lock in like 60 million subscribers, so it's working. You know, just for the catalog.
but it's one of those things where like the only reason people will have kept it beyond like the first week or month is because they released the Mandalorian staggered.
Episodically,
And
if that came out, exactly. That was, to me, Disney Plus. I've watched. Well, that's not true. My daughter's watching one show on it now, so they got me hooked. But and it's a show from 20 years ago, so it's bullshit. But
that's family stuff, right?
It
if
is.
you've got a family, Disney Plus is worth it because, you know, your daughter, she's watching one show now, she'll watch a lot more over the next few years.
Don't say that. I don't want her brainwashed. The show she's watching is amazing. It's called Out of the Box, and we should write a feature on how that show should come back. Disney Plus should greenlight a remake of that right fucking now. It's the greatest kid show. It's so ahead of its time, dude. I think I already told you about the show, maybe, but
no, you've not.
It's super diverse. It's
Never
awesome.
heard of it.
It's very simple. Oh my god, it's incredible. It's incredible. And the two people who hosted it are doing nothing. One of them's like a school teacher. The other one's like does like musician stuff. Like they could totally both come back and do it. Man, also it came out. I think it launched in 1999. It ran to like 2003, and it was like without even thinking about it, without even it being a point of attention. Like it's a black host and where's she from? A Filipino host. You know what I mean? Without even thinking about it, and the kids are all different colors. It's like it's awesome, and it's totally normal. It's not like this is a show to be diverse for diversity's sake. It's just like here's a neighborhood, and everyone's different, and it's not a thing. You know what I mean? And that was in the 90s, and it was a Disney show, so it's like so unlike all the other Disney shows going forward from there. You know what I mean? And it was about like basically these two people like help take care of the neighborhood kids. You know, kind of like a daycare, and they built a fort in one of their backyards. Where they can let their imagination run free, and then they go inside the fort, and it's like this massive fucking house thing, and they do like arts and crafts, sing songs, and they tell stories every episode, and each episode is themed.
What's kind of incredible about that is that's obviously something that's very much sort of like targeted at the, you know, coming out in the 90s being there. The fact that kids are watching it now is kind of cool.
I don't know how my wife found it.
Kids TVs seem so, you know, transient. Like, you know, if some very few things have that sort of cross-generational thing. Certain shows do, but that's kind of cool. This one's kind of come back.
Yeah, this is.
I've never heard of it. This is entirely
neither had I, and I looked it up, and millions of people watched it back then. It was like before the Disney Channel was a thing. It was like the old Disney Channel back then. But it's so well done. And it's an evergreen sort of thing, and it's like very, very wholesome. And there's like a smart lesson in each episode. It's very well done. It's exactly the type of show kids should watch.
Yeah.
And it every day, like my daughter can sing songs from it or wants to do arts and crafts, she learns from it. It's all like good things. You know what I mean?
I think it's interesting as well because obviously now, like when we were growing up, it was kids TV.
Watched Money Decks 100 times
on
already.
TV and it was on at set times and stuff. Now, not only are there like full channels dedicated
Makes
to it,
me
but
wonder
also
if
there's
Forza 5 is
YouTube
going to be
channels and
crazy.
a lot
Yes,
of
Forza 5,
unregulated stuff.
Forza 5, bigger battle royale.
You know, which is not necessarily as wholesome, doesn't have the mandate to be wholesome, doesn't have the mandate to educate. So some stuff that kids programming that actually educates, but in a fun way, is like incredibly valuable.
A question from chat from Dan or Mr. Moon. He says, "What are your thoughts on the Lando Disney Plus potential series?"
I think it's an interesting idea. Obviously, it's at the moment just rumors, and you know, there's obviously some people with some sources, but it's not confirmed or anything. I think it's interesting. Donald Glover as Lando wasn't my favorite part of Solo. I thought he was playing it a little. He was playing it more as a caricature of Billy D than of anything else. And you know, that scene of him doing the Lando tapes and stuff, I think really sums it up. I thought Alden was a much stronger Han than Glover was a Lando. But I think it would be interesting to sort of have that, especially if it pulls on other aspects of the Solo world. At the same time, if you're doing more Star Wars, I think there's probably more interesting avenues to take it. I do like the idea that it would be a cross timeline.
Oh, she was so good.
Donald Glover,
man, the blaster fights in that movie, the best in the franchise too.
Something like that.
The gunslinger style. Her and Woody were surprisingly
also,
awesome.
There's so many Star Wars things that get rumored or even announced that never happen.
And Danny Newton's character and
there's no
was
point
awesome.
Getting too excited.
The whole train heist was sweet. Agreed. I thought Alden was really underrated as Han.
He didn't do an impression. He played it as this young, wide-eyed guy who had this innate underlying desire to be like a bad person, a rough person, but also but is ultimately a good guy, and then grafted that onto the sort of Han personality. It was a really interesting take on Han that was authentic to what Harrison Ford did, but actually felt like a young guy. It wasn't like Harrison Ford in The Force Awakens, who was playing an exact older version of the guy from 30 years ago.
Yeah, Moon
Not
says.
that Harrison Ford is necessarily bad in The Force Awakens, but it's a very static character.
Yeah, I mean, The more I think about The Force Awakens, the more I dislike it. You know my feelings in the whole saga, but yeah. Moon says, and he had that Han luck factor in quotes. Imakio says, Thandie Newton was wasted, and the actress who played Enfy's Nest was awesome. Yeah, I thought the supporting cast was pretty great in that movie. The only thing I didn't like, actually, was fucking Jon Favreau's character.
Yeah, he was annoying. I watched Solo again relatively recently. I did a full rewatch with a mate, and he annoyed me a little less. But I thought
Donald Glover does not make bad
Favreau,
things.
like just the
His
voice
music's
and the
awesome.
way that he approached
Every show he's on is made better. Atlanta's fucking amazing. Every movie he's in is good.
Classic,
and it's a
as
crime
they're flying in on the
that
mission,
Disney
like,
or FX or somebody ended his animated Deadpool series because it would have been fucking incredible.
I don't know. I wish that they'd kept like a team around. Like they built a team up with Beckett's crew, then they kill them all, and then they go on another mission. I wish they'd kind of condensed some of that. It felt a little like too much going on. It felt like a TV show, you know? Like you have the episode with one team and then another thing and another thing, whereas it's meant to be a movie.
Yeah, I do wish there was more of a team dynamic throughout it so you can learn more about the squad and it kind of explain why he went solo. Get it? Han Solo? That's how he got his name? Oh, man. Weird.
Shit. That bit.
That was awkward too. Yeah.
That's what they sold Iger on as well. That's why Iger approved the movie.
Aqua.
Like when they said, "Oh, here's how Han got his name," and Iger was like, "Oh, it's really cool," which is just a bit. Yeah.
Moon asks if you're watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I've not watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. since like season 1. I watched season 1, and season 1 was really cool because of the Winter Soldier crossover, and then
that's when it got
Bill
good.
Paxton
Yeah.
stuff. And that, I remember like the pace at the end, but I never kept up with it. So
it got really good for a couple seasons there. I dropped out. I was super into it the first 5 seasons, and I haven't watched 6 or the current one, which is 7, I think.
I mean, our team who watches it and covers it are really into it and having a really good time. Like they're doing some, from what I gather, some really cool things, like with the time travel and having a lot of fun with it. So it's pretty neat. I'm sure the time travel makes more sense than Endgame.
That season 5 time travel space shit was just so budget and shit. I'm like, oh my god. After the Inhumans mess and this, I'm like, oh, what is? And it's just, you could tell everyone at Disney's like, can this please end so we can move on with the MCU proper? Yeah, it's very strange. The whole ABC thing has been a disaster because like they canceled what Most Wanted after the pilot. That damage control thing was never a reality. John Ridley was supposed to make that other fucking, the American Crime guy. He was supposed to do the other ABC Marvel show, never materialized. So it's just like, what the fuck? There's like no plan at all. And now I don't know what's gonna happen if Feige's taking over everything, including publishing. What does that mean for ABC and Freeform?
Yeah, because it's like obviously all the stuff that Feige's working on, Marvel
Freeform is the
going to Disney Plus.
Streaming service of ABC. It used to be called ABC Seed, now it's called
shows?
Freeform.
Will ABC have any? Will Hulu even?
And the Hulu thing
Hulu,
also.
That's gone, right? The MODOK stuff is done now. Or is that happening?
No, the MODOK one's happening. I think they canceled the Hulu FX Deadpool thing with Donald Glover. Which
that's
was
it. Yeah,
that would have been good too. I don't know. So they're still doing Marvel's Hellstrom, but they canceled Ghost Rider, and then now you and I saw the things about potential Ghost Rider. We don't know what it is. I'm guessing it's a movie, right?
Yeah.
If they're doing Blade at some point, it makes sense they're doing Ghost Rider, I guess. But what are they gonna do? Go back to Johnny Blaze, or do like a thing where they have multiple Ghost Riders? Because they cannot drop Robbie Reyes and say, nope, we're going with the white guy. It's like, are you kidding me? No, that can't be a thing. But
they're gonna get to a point in the next couple of years where they will end up using characters that were used by Marvel TV. When the rights are able, and also the story. There's too many good characters that have been on Marvel TV that they'll want to use in the proper MCU, and then they'll have to answer the question: are these characters the canon version? Is Charlie Cox Daredevil? And they'll have to make that choice. And it's like, yeah. And what's tough is that what Marvel has with like the X-Men is like a lot of the X-Men from the Fox movies. They're good, but they're not necessarily comic accurate. So like with Wolverine, they can recast Wolverine, make him comic accurate, and not step on Hugh Jackman's toes. It'll be much harder to recast Daredevil and not step on Charlie Cox's toes because what they did with Daredevil in that show was so good.
Yeah, you could argue the same for Bernthal and fucking Punisher, right? So
well, definitely. But for a lot of them, and even stuff like, and then obviously like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you want to try and have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. even if it's just a fun cameo or something.
Yeah, I don't know what the Agent Shield became was just so over the top. They couldn't fucking help themselves, but turn Agents of Shield into like the world saving, future time traveling mega heroes, and it's like, man, this is not Shield at all. I was hoping they would really keep it in line in the background of the films, but they just kind of like went their own way. But
isn't that a communication thing? Like with Winter
yeah.
Soldier, that was still under the Ike era. You know, they actually knew what was happening. I don't think by the time, you know, they had no idea what was going on when Infinity War came along. Like in season 6 or season 5, whichever one lined up with Infinity War, and they had the whole thing with like Thanos, and they were teasing Thanos and kind of being vague about it. They were being vague because they just didn't know. Like Marvel TV didn't know the specifics of Infinity War.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because I think there was something very cool about the idea of like.
I thought that show was pretty good too.
That kind of fills in the.
I like Jessica Jones. I like Mike Coulter.
Changed so much from when Agents of
Iron
Shield
Fist
started.
is the problem. Although I like season 2.
When it was like first announced in the wake of the Avengers, it was like, oh yeah, Shield is like a constant in the MCU, and then like 2 years later they blew it up.
Yeah.
And so it became a very different thing. But I mean, the people who watch it really like it, so I think it's one of those things where it didn't deliver necessarily on its promise, but it did deliver a show that I think people engage with.
Man,
I hope that Disney Plus shows do the actual connection stuff better.
I would really love if they just like embraced it a little more. Like it was so fucking cool if like Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock was in like Spider-Man 3 trying to help Peter Parker or something. You know what I mean? Like just something. You know what I mean? And then I don't know. I don't want to see anybody else as Daredevil. That's the thing. Like I want more Charlie Cox Daredevil. I think everybody does. So it's weird to kind of write off. But then if you take one, you have to kind of take them all, and they probably don't want half of those characters, right? They don't want Finn Jones as Iron Fist.
I mean, you don't. Nobody wants Iron Fist.
Yeah. Although I quite enjoyed season 2 for what it ended up being and how it ended, but it's it's still not quite MCU caliber.
But I mean, they overdid it with the Netflix stuff. I think there were 13 seasons of TV by the end. Like that's a lot, and they released them in a very tight period of time. And they had such a like whereas like Daredevil felt so purposeful like that first season.
Yeah,
Everything else was
I think there's money to be had, I guess, and I think what's his face, Jeff Loeb was really trying to push his own universe. I think he really did want to get to like a second set of characters. Like the Punisher thing worked out way better than they ever expected. That was never part of the plan. But it had that worked, and they could have kept going with it. They could have had their, they could have done the Ghost Rider and their own Blade, and then their own Marvel Knights second follow up, phase. But it wasn't to be.
And I guess it all comes into the trickiness of like the initial idea of like it all being the same universe and trying to like have everything line up. Like if you look at what DC is doing now, where they have like I think 5 or 6 different universes. Like DC is obviously not. It's kind of like, but it's nice. It's nice for them to do like a Batman movie with Robert Pattinson and then do like the Snyder Cut stuff and then also potentially do something else. And it's like it doesn't matter that they clash. Like it's quite nice to not have to worry about that and know that like. Matt Reeves is not restricted by the fact that Joker exists or the fact that Batman v Superman exists. He can do whatever the hell he wants. That's quite nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice given the situation they're in. Although, in the ideal world, there wouldn't be a need to have Matt Reeves come in and fix or redo Batman. You know what I mean? They already had a Batman.
Yeah, but I think that Batman was that Batman was that Batman. I have no qualms with them doing a better reset.
This Forza article I put up is not showing up under Forza or Xbox tags.
Did you forget to tag it?
No, it's tagged. I'm in the article now. Both tags are on it. I did fuck up the URL on it though. It's like whatever the default thing is. Way too many words. I was just trying to help Riley out because he had 4 pendings at the same time. Why Mothra has never really died. That's such a Mansoor thing to say.
It probably is a Mansoor-driven article.
Mothra got totally fucking wrecked, no? In the sequel?
Yeah, but Mothra's already returned. Is this directly relating to... I think this is about, in general... So basically, it's what it'll be saying is that Mothra is not one monster. It's a species, and there's lots of eggs and the twins and stuff. So the original deleted post-credit scene for King of the Monsters was going to show, the twin scientists from the movie.
Yeah.
They were going to have another egg, another Mothra egg.
Yeah.
And they did tease that in the actual movie in the credits, in one of the news paper clipping. So
And he's
it's basically
and Mothra always helps serve as sort of like the queen to the king.
basically. Did you see King of the Monsters?
I did.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, but
It was okay.
It's big monsters fighting, and it did the big monsters.
It's a big wallpaper simulator, but holy shit, that story.
I mean, the story's weird, and
they have hints of greatness. It's like, do you remember the first Alien vs Predator at the very beginning when they're like talking about these ruins they found in the Arctic, and it's like, man, it's a mix of Mayan and Egyptian, all these different old gods, and it's like, but it dates before all of them, and you're like, holy fuck, this lore is really cool. And it's kind of like what Godzilla hinted at, all this cool lore of the old monsters and like the alien aspect, and then you watch the actual movie, and it's just like ridiculousness of who's doing what.
The teasers, like we were very sort of heavy into the sort of the sly viral marketing they did for King of the Monsters, and there was some really cool stuff hinted, and essentially all it was doing was setting up the sequence where Ghidorah wakes up all of those random monsters.
We already watched the Xbox thing. It was
kind of like, it is a cool idea. Like, the Loch Ness Monster is canon in the MonsterVerse.
Yeah, I love that.
A version of it. What's a shame about the MonsterVerse stuff is that they don't have the rights to all the monsters, so they like have monsters that are kind of like Toho monsters, but are original creations. So it's not as big of like references. It's not like an Endgame thing where you have like a bajillion recognizable characters. In terms of the world, I think it's a cool world. I like the idea of that, but they definitely don't dwell into it. None of the MonsterVerse movies have had like amazing stories, but they have had good action and sort of strong takes on the creatures. I think Godzilla vs Kong is exciting just for that reason.
I did not expect this. I'm changing topics here. The Star Trek Prodigy thing. When I got that embargoed email this morning, I was like, "What the fuck? I thought we were doing Lower Decks. What is this?"
This is them going for kids.
Yeah, I guess. Holy shit, they're really trying to indoctrinate a whole new generation, huh?
It's kind of weird, yeah. And I mean, Star Trek is going hard at the moment. So they've got Disco, they've got Picard, they've got Strange New Worlds, they've got Lower Decks, which is like a parody comedy thing, and then Prodigy, which is a kids thing. They're trying to cover all of the genre bases. And I think they've kind of messed up with the live action stuff, because both Discovery and Picard existed in this weird world where they were trying to appeal to long-term fans, but did so much revision to Star Trek lore and formula that they ended up to appeal to new fans that they ended up making it alien to both people.
Did they not give us more art for this?
No, they only gave us the logo.
Oh, I must have misread that email. I think of it because I got a whole bunch of embargo things from Amazon. I was trying to figure out which one I got art for.
They announced the official press release announced the title. Yeah,
just the logo. I mean, I guess because like CBS Interactive, all the programming there is very adult, right? Like that's not Trek for kids. Well, it is Trek for teenagers, I guess. But like, you know, Picard and Discovery are definitely dropping F-bombs and shit. I'm trying to think here. Strange New Worlds is the Pike one, right?
Yeah, which is meant to be the more hopeful one.
Very fucking excited for that.
I mean, that's going to be the classic Star Trek aping thing.
I hope
and it's
so.
kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Like he was definitely like, he sort of made Discovery season 2 for a lot of people.
Totally.
Like, that was super popular, and like all those connections and all of that. People learn.
Dude, he's in running for best captain after all that shit, man. He was in Anson Mount. What a fucking journey he's been on.
Turnaround.
After Inhumans, the poor guy, he goes from Hell on Wheels, hells yeah, then he goes to shitty Inhumans, and then now he comes back and like fucking saves the day in Star Trek. Hells yeah. So, I really hope that show gets 3 or 4 years, and then they bring in the young Kirk and just keep going.
CGI de-age William Shatner.
Just recast them. They cast everyone else fine.
Yeah, I was more.
No, totally, yeah.
I think, yeah. I mean, they can kind of do whatever, but doing that because it was never clear what Discovery was trying to be in terms of that position in the timeline. And I think it's much cooler now that they've gone to the far, far future, and like it can just be its own thing. I think is a really good idea. But then having something set in the timeline that is trying to be more of that is pretty cool.
Agreed. I'm just getting like just 100 press releases from Comic-Con and this Xbox showcase. It's gonna go through them all. I think we had like 10 writers on. That was very helpful. All right. Okay, I'll end this here so we can get back to work.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
There's so many different things going.
You got to come on again sometime. Like, well, you're UK, so it's tough because I'm on super late at night. But at some point, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, no, it's quite fun to just sort of chat the shit rather than be stressed
But
about.
I was telling these
everything.
guys before you came on, like you're a gamer now, man. I know you've always played games, but like as of late, you've really gotten into PS4 games.
Yeah, well, yeah. What have I been playing? I mean, Last of Us, and then Super Hot. I've been playing. Super Hot.
That blew my mind. I had no fucking clue you had played Super Hot on VR.
Yeah, I played all of it. So I played Super Hot way back,
How?
and then a mate of mine has VR.
Oh.
The original Super Hot I've on PlayStation, but I went around to my mates and played the full VR stuff, which is so good. And then like Mind Control Delete is also fantastic. Like it manages to, like, without adding excessive complicated stuff, creates a much more nuanced and exciting game. Like, you have lives now and you've got to get through X amount of levels. It becomes much more of a challenge.
It's not VR though, right? The new one?
No, it's not VR at all. They're treating it as like a proper third game. So they treat VR as its own game, and this is like a third game.
So what the fuck is it? Is it a first-person shooter?
Yes, it's the exact same gameplay mechanics.
Weird. I just can't picture because I've only ever played the VR version of it.
Oh, you've never played like the original?
No. I only played the VR version of it. And to be honest, I used the Vive, and it was god awful because the release mechanics don't work right on the Vive. So. Yeah.
I'd definitely try out just the original Super Hot, just because like it's like because playing it as a traditional FPS is kind of fun. I'd definitely check it out. I didn't realize you'd not played it, but no. So this is all standard thing. I do think it's a great VR game though because it because of the mechanics of it just lend itself so well to VR. The way that reactions times work in the VR space.
Yeah.
I am getting a little more into games. Like I want to finish Last of Us so I can play Ghost of Tsushima now.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. And you played Horizon, right?
Yes, yeah. Horizon was fantastic. I was a bit late to that. I played that maybe like 2 years later, and it took me about 9 months to complete everything. But yeah, I absolutely loved that game. Like it's one of the best examples of a story and a world marrying together. Like it was really cool to just sort of exist in a world, but then do a story that felt like it really accentuated it. Like I really loved all that sci-fi, end of the world, Zero Dawn project stuff.
Yeah, that game was so pretty as well. When we were talking about the PS5 reveal, I'm like the selling game, the one I'm most excited to see is another Horizon. So I'm so happy they actually came out with that right away.
I think it looks great, and I think I like the sort of location changes. I'm really curious to see how they do the story because the first game was so much about the existence of the world and how your character is key to the fact that this world exists at all. I'm really curious to see what they do when the player kind of knows all this stuff. There are a few unanswered questions, but like I'm really interested, and I hope it doesn't go too just about the present. I want it to explore the past in a way that feels authentic.
Right.
I'm sure they'll do it. I mean, Last of Us 2, I think, in terms of story, is a very exciting extension of that game that manages to tie into the previous game but go in new ways. I know it's incredibly controversial, but I'm enjoying it at the moment.
Yeah, I still haven't played it yet. Did you... I was going to ask you. Do you think, or are you excited for Last of Us 3 based on how it ends?
I've not finished Last of Us 2.
Oh, but so you kind of know what happens, all right?
I don't know what happens at the end, actually.
Oh, okay.
Normally I know the spoilers for everything, but for this one, I didn't even know the big thing at the start of the game.
So that, I mean, obviously, I saw a lot of that, unfortunately. I don't think I know the full ending either, though, when I think about it.
I know, I can see where it's going. There's a gameplay switch partway through that like makes very clear the message they're trying to say. Like, it's not the most subtle game in terms of like its use of parallels and stuff. Like it's very clear what it's trying to say. So I kind of can imagine where it's heading, but I'm curious. But I'll let you know when I finish it. I'm getting through it. I'm on Seattle Day 2, the second one, so don't think I've got too long to go.
Gotcha. All right, let's wrap it up there. Thanks for coming on.
Cool. No worries. Thanks for having me.
Slack.
See ya.
That's it.
Bye.
Later. All right, guys, we gotta get back to it. We got a panel coming up in 20 minutes, and I have to re-brew my tea and answer a fuck ton of emails. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was kind of just, very informal, but it's great to have Alex on here. Alex is the goddamn man. He, like me, doesn't have time to write anymore, but he's like he's been an absolute savior for me and my workload. He helps take point in a lot of the meetings. He helps some of the newer initiatives we have, like a reality TV team and tech. I can just like offload that to him so I can focus on the businessy shit and stuff like gaming, which is another massive initiative for us. So, Moon says, if you stream tonight, I'll probably raid you again. Oh, that'll be wonderful, Moon. Yeah, I will be on tonight. Probably back to the usual time, so I'll probably be somewhere between 9:30 and 10:30. Mac yells, no, don't be sorry at all, dude. I'm really happy you're here, and I'm happy you gave me a heads up, because like when I do want to make sure I'm compliant. The last thing I need is to lose this channel. How am I gonna hang out with my 6 viewers? No, but I had already read up about it. The reason that I co-streamed in the first place is because Xbox gave me the email saying, hey, you can co-stream this for this. And then I also got all the press releases yesterday or 2 days ago about how they were doing extra exclusive pre-show stuff with Danny O'Dwyer and Alina Pierce and all these others influencers exclusive to YouTube. So that's very separate from their main showcase. Yeah, Xbox has always been very good. So I see the PlayStation, I think, about getting their shit out there. So like with Xbox especially, they stream on every platform. You can watch it on Facebook. You can even watch it on Twitter, I think. And then it was always on Mixer and Twitch and YouTube. So they are very encouraging. They want all the eyes they can get. They want all the commentary they can get. So for the main show, even during E3 stuff, they're really cool about all of that. So there's no issues there. I suppose if one of those trailers had like a big licensed music track, that would be an issue. But since I don't know how that would be handled because the Xbox channel is doing it. So obviously Twitch knows that. So they're not gonna like target specific channels for the same DMCA violation, but not the other channels. So we'll see. Anyways, I'll be on tonight, guys. If you are too, come say hi. Moon, it's good to see you midday. Shouldn't you be working or something? I'm gonna plug my phone in too. All right, later, guys. Oh, you know what we need? We need some outro music. Yeah. What do we got here? What's this? Yeah, why not? All right, peace. See you tonight.